All right. Am I live? Is this thing on? I don't quite know what happened, but apparently, there we go. I'm live and connected. Here we go. All right. Cool. Yeah. Sorry about that. All right. I don't know what happened there. That's weird. Okay. I guess I'm now broadcasting. Okay, let me close that out. There we go. All right. And let me kind of move a couple of things around over here. All right. Sorry about that. Hi. Yeah. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where in the world you happen to be. I'm Christopher Harrison, and this is apparently Code and Coffee Take 2 this morning. Yeah, so, to a certain extent, this kind of works out really well because this is certainly a part of what happens with Code and Coffee is, things go wrong. So I apologize for the problem there. I don't know why it didn't start broadcasting originally. But in any event, hi, I'm Christopher. Code and Coffee is the show where I get on and poke around at different things web dev related. And so today I'm going to poke around on CSS and see Tailwind CSS and see what it is that I can learn with this. Let me just do that real quick. Make sure that things are actually working. Hopefully, maybe. Give that just a second here. Is there anybody out there? Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. Just trying to make sure everything is broadcasting correct before I start getting into it. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. It looks like everything is working. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So, okay. All right, cool. It's coming through great. All right, excellent. Good morning to Bruce. Good morning to Abraham. There we go. All right. So now, Tailwind CSS. So yeah, what I want to learn today, and I do mean learn, is I want to learn Tailwind CSS. Tailwind CSS, I'm sort of familiar with in that I hosted a Web Wednesday where I brought on a great colleague of mine, Jen Looper, to talk a little bit about it, but I have not really dug in and explored it a whole lot. And so that's what I'm going to do here live on camera, is do exactly that. So please keep in mind that I am not a Tailwind expert. I am going to be learning an awful lot of this literally right here in front of you. So this should be a learning experience for all of us. And if you are experienced with Tailwind CSS, by all means, feel free to go ahead and let me know if something I've said is wrong, or if there are different things that I should go in and look at, and so forth. And good morning to Shivaji. Sorry about that, Shivaji. How am I, Bruce? I'm actually doing pretty well. I think I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself? And things Tailwind CSS can integrate into Ionica. Yeah, I think so. Cool. Well, let's get in and take a look at our guest of honor, if you will, Tailwind CSS. So Tailwind CSS is a CSS framework. And it's similar to other CSS frameworks, like Bootstrap, in that it's designed to help make it easier for you to design and to lay out your page and to make it look good. Because as we all know, CSS can be a little bit tricky. And so having a framework that can help streamline and simplify this certainly helps. But where Tailwind CSS becomes very different than something like Bootstrap is in the way that it approaches how it is that we're going to be doing styling. So let me scroll down on the CSS page here and let me highlight a little bit of Tailwind CSS. So here's the Tailwind CSS, and down below, this is the card that it's laying out here. And what I want you to notice here is there's a whole bunch of classes that are being used to describe how we want something to display. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up some sort of a medium flex. We're going to set the background to be gray at 100 level, whatever that happens to be. We're going to have rounded corners, rounded XL. We've got some P8 here. We'll have to figure out what that is. And then we've got an MD of P0. So our MD is going to be some sort of a marker for a medium size screen. And then that, again, P0. So we'll have to figure out what that P is. Now, we're going to get in and dig further into all of that. But what I really want to point out here is look at those classes. This is very different from a lot of CSS frameworks that are out there and a lot of the ways that we normally approach CSS. All of those classes are describing how something is going to be displayed. What they are not describing is what is going to be displayed. So this is saying, hey, we're going to have a background color of gray. This is saying, hey, we're going to have rounded corners. But it's not saying we're displaying a card. And if we contrast this with Bootstrap here, let me just go into the docs for Bootstrap and let's bring up, say, inside of forms, and let's just go into like form control for like an input. I want to highlight the class that we would use inside of Bootstrap. And what you're going to notice here is that we've got class names like form label. And we've got class names like form control. And this is typically the way that we approach our CSS. Again, with this semantic style. So when I say form label or I say form control in Bootstrap, what I'm doing here is I'm not describing how I want something to be displayed. I'm describing what's about to be displayed. I'm indicating what's about to be displayed. I'm saying, hey, there's going to be a form control here, which is an input or text area. I'm going to say, hey, there's going to be a form label here. But I'm not describing how that's going to be laid out. I'm not describing how that's going to be displayed. Instead, what I'm doing is I'm just simply saying, hey, this is going to be a form label. And so this is now going to point to some level of CSS that will then have all the descriptions about how that's going to be displayed. And so Tailwind takes a very different approach. Rather than going with the semantic approach here, it's much more focused in on the display. Now, there's certainly a lot of upsides to doing something like this. That what's really nice about describing how I want something to be displayed, kind of, I think, twofold. Number one is I feel like this does fall a little bit more in line with really what we want from CSS. I think this gives us a little bit better of a separation of controls here. That when we think about how it is that we should be separating concerns, that our HTML should be much more focused on what we're going to display, and our CSS should be much more focused on how we're going to display it. So by having those classes that are then more associated with the how we're going to display it, I think it does better align with the traditional way of doing that separation of concerns. But the other part is this, when I use something like form label, here's all that I know. All that I know is that it's going to be displayed as a label. But if I really want to figure out how is this actually going to be displayed, I then need to go in and look at the CSS to figure that out. But if we do it this way, Now I can see right in front of me, assuming that I learned some additional syntax here, and there's certainly going to be a little bit of a learning curve that we're going to have here. But if I look at this, now I can start to see, again, assuming that I know the syntax, how things are going to be displayed, that I know that we're going to have maybe large text. I know that we're maybe going to have, a semi-bold font. I know that this is going to be a medium font. I know this is going to be cyan. Like I can already start to pick up on some of the different ways that this is actually going to be displayed here. So it's a very different approach. I think it does kind of fall a little bit more in line with the way that we should be looking at separation of concerns. But again, everybody's going to have a different opinion. The creator here, Adam, does have a very, 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 very long blog post that you can go in and read to learn about why it is that he prefers this style and so forth. But that's going to be, a conversation for a different time. So I just want to get in and I want to start exploring this. So let's go ahead and let's hit the get started here. Let's get into the docs and let's try something out. So I think what I'd like to do is I'd like to play around a little bit in the browser first. Let's maybe use their little playground and see what we can do in here. And then what I want to do is I want to bring this into a little app that I have, that I've already got an app that I was working on last week. This uses Svelte. And if you're not overly familiar with Svelte, here's the good news, is you don't have to worry too much about Svelte, because it... Oh, weird. Okay. But yeah, so you don't have to worry too much about Svelte, because what's going to be great about this is it's really going to be mostly just HTML that we're going to be working with. That we don't need to worry too much about like any special syntax like JSX or anything like that. So it'll work really well. So this is eventually what I want to bring this into. But let's start playing around with this and let's see what we can learn. So I'm going to hit start building here and let's get in and start playing around. So, this just gives us a playground. Want to dig deeper, read the docs. That's not really what I want. I was hoping for a little bit more of a guided experience there. That's a little disappointing. I mean, I could go in and I could start just like, maybe... like I know that those numbers do things, yeah, and the bigger the number, then the darker that it's going to wind up being. But I'd love to get a little bit more of a guided. Okay, yeah, let's do this instead. Let's I guess just go in and start reading the docs here. So learn how to get Tailwind CSS up and running. And we're not using any of those. We're going to be using something different. Okay. So install Tailwind via npm. So for most projects, take advantage of, you'll want to install it and its peer dependencies via npm. Okay. And then we're going to set up this little thing. All right. So this little thing here, this little post CSS plugin, what this is designed to do is to do a little bit of work for you for helping to get your pages up and running with different CSS frameworks. So there's our post CSS plugin. And then we create a configuration file, and then we could kind of go from there. Okay. You know what I'm actually going to do? I'm going to do this instead. I'm going to go into Snowpack and do it from here. The reason I'm going to do it from here is I'm using Snowpack to manage my Svelte app, and so I'm going to use it to manage Tailwind CSS, and hopefully this will kind of get us better set up and running here. So let's go ahead and just walk through the setup. So install the dependencies. Let me just copy that and let's paste that over to here. Chugga. Okay. Oh, look, there's a new version of npm. Let me go ahead and just install that real quick. npm install g npm. There we go. Cool. All right. So there's one. And then we need to create two files, a post.css config js. Let's do that. There we go. Oops. Inside of our root, let's go ahead and update the imports. Sure. There weren't any imports, but sure, go ahead and update them. Oh, no, don't do that. I didn't want you to do that. There we go. And let's go ahead and paste in that bit of code that it had. Let me just add in that as a name. There we go. And then let's go ahead and my Tailwind Config Js. Okay. Let me put this in. Okay. So it's going to look at public and it's going to look at my source. And I think, yeah, src and public. Okay, that looks good. All right. All of that is fine. Good, good, good. Okay. And then I'll need to add the Snowpack plugin to my config. All right, let's do that. Let's see. There we go. And now I can go ahead and import it. Okay. So add the Tailwind Utilities. I need, you recommend creating a global CSS. Okay. Let's do that then. Just sort of doing whatever this tells me. All right. That's added. Unknown rule. All right, well, hopefully that will fix itself eventually. And then now I can load these. Oh, you know what? I can just do that inside my index. I just put those inside of there instead. Let's don't save, and let's just add that into my, yeah. There we go. Okay, so I'll just put that there, and then more reading. Okay, all right. I think I've got my setup done, I think. Like I said, I'm really not sure. We're going to find out. Okay. I think I've already got a Tailwind config file. I think I did that. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to just grab this whole thing here. And let's... And then on the purge, we'll do that. Okay. All right. So there's our config. There's our include. All right. And then now we're going to have npm run dev, which in theory should do a thing. Okay. So I think I've got my setup done. Okay. So that's step 1. All right. And then we are using post CSS. Okay. For Tailwind styles to work as expected, I'll need to use the HTML5 doc type, which I have, and this meta tag, which I think I've already got. Let's see. Yeah, I think I've got that already. Yeah, that's good. Okay. All right. Okay, here we go. Core concepts. Utility first. So this is what we were talking about before, is it's going to be about describing how we want something to be displayed, not what it is that we're going to be displaying. So it talks through that. All right. So, okay, so in this example, we've used Tailwind's Flexbox and padding utilities. Okay, so Flex is going to be for Flexbox, and padding, that's going to be that P. And so for those of you who aren't familiar with maybe like the CSS with padding, padding is going to indicate the amount of space between your content and then the outside of whatever that bounding box is. So yeah, so the Flexbox is a block level Flex container, and those can then be resized. You can see those there. All right, that looks good. And then I don't quite know what the space means, but that's all right. I can use grid to create a grid container, an inline grid. I feel like I need more here. All right. Use Flex to create a block level Flex container. All right, well, let's see. Thank you, Mallory. Let's open up my app Svelte here. Let's see. So right now, here's the way that my app currently works. Is right now I'm using Bootstrap. I should go ahead and get rid of that. Let's get rid of Bootstrap, and yeah, so let's do that. And let's try and start displaying some stuff here. So let's see. So right now, this is all going to just display as buttons in a list. So if I npm run dev, and let's open up this. Okay. All right. So there is, oh, interesting. Okay. All right, so there's our text box. There's our H1 of to-do manager, our active to-dos, and add a new to-do. So let me test, and then that displays here, and okay. All right. Okay, let's see if I can't gussy this up a little bit more. Let me also do this. Let me add a couple of to-dos. There we go. And maybe this is just sample 2 and false. Okay. All right. Trying to figure out what I want to focus on. Let's see if I can't get these to display maybe a little bit better. Okay. Let's start by making them flex. I don't know. I do know that there is an extension for Tailwind, so let me install that. Yeah, let me install that real quick. There we go. Okay. That should hopefully help out a little bit. So let's see, class equals flex, and then maybe let's start like trying to set a background color. So maybe BG, about like an indigo 300. That doesn't work. All right. Let's maybe make these divs for the moment. We shouldn't be doing div buttons, but I'm just going to go with divs. And you know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to get rid of this unordered list. Like I'm just going to sort of revert back to kind of just core HTML here. All right. And I'm definitely not getting a background color here. Yeah, I'm definitely not getting a background color. All right, why am I not getting a background color? I've got some console logs, that's funny. That's a good question. Why am I not getting a background color? I'm importing. Oh, so I'm not importing my CSS. Let me just do it that way. Maybe that's gonna fix it. Nope. All right, let's see what's being loaded here. All right. I apologize for any noise that you might be hearing from outside. They're mowing grass. Okay, so I've got my style sheet referenced. There it is. All right. Okay, so it's pulling in Tailwind. All right. We can see that. All right. But it's not. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be doing fun things like that yet. All right, let's go back here. Let's maybe just let's see if we can't get our text to do something. Nope. Maybe it's Svelte giving me issues. Let's try this. Let's okay, so it's not Svelte. All right. All right, I wonder if maybe I don't have. Did I miss a setup step? Okay. Tailwind's JIT mode is the new recommended way to do Tailwind. To set this up in a Snowpack project, do the following. Install the dependencies. Okay, we did that. Need to create 2 files in the root of your project. Okay, we did that. So we've got our post.css config.js. Let's bring this up. Okay. And then the Tailwind Config Js. Let's just make sure. Post.css Config Js. All right, that looks good. And then my Tailwind config. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to use the one that they suggest. So let's just do that. Okay. And make sure to set purge to correctly for my project structure. And I've got this project structure. I've got public and source, so that's good. And then inside of my Snowpack config, add that in as a plugin. So let's Snowpack config plugin, Snowpack plugin post.css. That's there. That looks good. Yeah. Okay. And then import, add the Tailwind Utilities I need. If I don't have a global CSS, you might recommend creating one, a public global CSS. I've already got one. It's just called index instead. I don't think that should matter though. Let me rename that real quick. I don't think it should matter. let me just get rid of that and let me, yeah, so there's my global CSS. I'm just going to leave it like that. And then let's go ahead and make sure that that's being imported. Global CSS. Make sure I'm importing this in my main HTML, like so. Yep, that looks good. Okay. All right. And then now, oh, I've still got a reference somewhere to index CSS. Where? Nowhere. Okay. We just need to stop and restart this. Let's stop that. And let's restart it. And let's refresh. There we go. Okay. And still nothing. All right. Let's see. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to do this. Let's like get rid of everything and let's see if I can't just get something really basic to display here. Yeah, let's just see if we can't get a button to display. Sort of start there. Interesting. You know what I'm curious about? I'm curious if maybe I need upgrades to if I need to upgrade Snowpack or something. Snowpack 3.0.1. Let's see. What version are we now on? 3.3. Oh wow, yeah. Okay, let's do that, and let's do I need to add my Svelte files? Oh, to the purge section. Oh, that's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. I might. Yeah, that might be it. Yeah, let's do that real quick. That is a really good point. Yeah, okay. Let's try that. All right, let's see. Aha! Okay, one of two things happened. It was either that or I just needed to update Snowpack. Although it's probably going to be a combination of both here. Okay, cool. Excellent. Thank you, Plop Plop. Appreciate that. Okay, so now let's go back to my index page here. Let's get rid of my button. Let's bring back this. Ah, there we go. Okay, cool. Now we're looking better. Now we're looking better. Okay. So now let's start exploring. Now let's see if we can't do something a little bit better here. Okay. Okay. Cool. All right. We're looking better here. We're looking better. Okay. So let's see. So I think what I'd like to start with is let's focus in on the couple of to-dos first. And I think what I would like to do with them is I'd like to make them kind of individual items. Like right now they're buttons. And so I can just leave them as buttons. Or actually they're not buttons, they're divs. So let me, make them buttons here. Button. Yeah, so I'd like to get some separation between them, and let's get like maybe a better color scheme as well here. So let's maybe go with like a lighter just like 250 exist? It doesn't. 300. That's not 400? 600. Okay, you were working 2 seconds ago. Or does that just not apply to buttons? That might not apply to buttons. Nope, that's not it. Okay, you were working 2 seconds ago. 900. That's hilarious. Why do you hate me? I don't quite get this. Like it should be like doing the whole thing regardless. That is weird. Okay. Well, that's going to be annoying. If I have to stop and restart just to update background colors, that's going to get really annoying really fast. Oh, now it works. Or no, that is weird. That is really disappointing. I've got to have a configuration issue with Snowpack. Let me do this, because I shouldn't have to stop and restart it each time. I'm willing to bet I need to do some updating here. Where's my package JSON? So this I just installed. I can never remember how to do this. How do I upgrade an npm package? I can literally never remember how to do this. Does that work? Added 9 packages, removed 3, changed 9. I don't know that it did. Dev. There we go. Look at my dev dependencies. Saying it's up to date. All right, let's see. Let me see about that. Let me just. That was at 3.6.1. npm install save dev. Okay. All right, well, let's relaunch my server here again. Here's my little to-do manager. And let's see, let's refresh this. Yep, okay, so now I've got my background colors. And let's say 900. That's going to be really aggravating. If every time I want to update my background color, I have to stop and restart it. Yeah, because the foreground color picks up immediately. What is it about the background color? Huh. That's weird. That's really aggravating too. I don't know why. All right, well, let's make these back to buttons again. Because they should be. And okay. All right. Well, that's really disappointing. It's really funny because like the moment I change the background color and I hit save, the background color then just goes away. Huh. All right, well, I guess I'll just sort of have to deal with that. Hopefully it's just the background color. Like if it's just the background color, I can deal with that. Okay, let's start kind of playing around here. Okay, so here's a little button. And let's see. So, yeah, you know, I kind of like, well, no, I'm going to leave it as black text at the moment. Font bold. Okay. Let's maybe add in font bold here. All right. And then hit refresh. Am I really? hang on a minute. I think I know what my problem is. I think. I'm gonna do two things. I'm gonna get rid of that first. I'm gonna get rid of my purge here. And let's hit refresh. Okay. And then now let's come back. Where's my index file? There it is. No, not that one. Where's my Svelte file? Ah. And now let's say 300. Nope. And then it still just goes away. All right, let's try it like this. Let's get rid of the JIT compiler, maybe. And now let's 500. 900. There we go. Okay. It was the JIT compiler that was causing me issues. Yeah, the moment I got rid of that, everything started working. Okay. All right, now we can work with this. Now we can work with this. All right. So let's, there we go. That looks better. Okay, so now let's set my text white. There we go, that looks good. And now let's do some padding here. Maybe like that. It's a little much. Maybe like that. There we go. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to rearrange a little bit here. And let's there we go. I think that text is still like that. Okay, there we go. I think that still looks good. Yeah. All right, so now let's see here. Okay, so that looks good. How do I... how do we get like margins and things like that? That's a good question. How do we get margins and things? Margin. Haha. Oh, there we go. Oh, look, M. That makes sense. Okay, all right. Things are starting to make a little bit more sense now. Okay. So maybe I go in and now I say something like M2. All right. And then rounded large. There we go. All right. I don't think I like the font bold though. Let me get rid of that. Yeah, that looks better. Okay. Yeah. That's starting to look pretty decent. Okay. Yeah, so now I've got each of those as my little buttons there. Okay. Let's make sure these are actually buttons, right? Yeah, they are buttons. Okay, cool. All right. If I get rid of the flex, what happens? Oh, okay. All right. So, I think I like it with the flex. Okay. That looks good. Space between child elements. It's not what I'm looking for at the moment. All right. Okay, cool. All right. I need just a couple of minutes here. I'm going to be right back. I'll be back in 2 minutes, and then we'll see what else we can keep doing here now that we've actually got it, working. There we go. Okay. All right. So there's that. Okay. Those look decent. Those look decent. Let's see if I can't get a hover working. So how does the hover work? I know that was somewhere in here. Hover focus in other states. Okay. Oh, cool. Oh, all right. Okay, that actually kind of makes sense. Yeah, so like on my focus outline none, if I wanted to turn that off. Okay, yeah, because you'll notice when I like click the button, it then gives me that outline. So let's turn that off. Let's boop. All right, and so now, cool, that looks good. And let's do a hover on this. Let's say hover, and then I'm using indigo as my background. So let's say indigo maybe like 400 to make it appear like it's kind of glowing. Yeah, I like it. I like it. And then maybe I can go hover text gray like 600. I don't think I like that. You know what I think I'm going to do instead? I think I'm going to just, on the hover, maybe get it closer to like 700. Yeah, that looks good. That looks pretty good. Okay. All right. We're looking better there. We're looking better there. Okay. Let's see. All right, so on my text box here, I'm going to stylize that a little bit better. what's that going to look like? Borders we've got, oh, maybe nice to have a nice little shadow. Maybe let's just add in, maybe like let's just say shadow. Let's see. Yeah. I like it. Maybe shadow LG? That's a bit much. Shadow MD? Yeah, just like a real subtle, yeah. All right, okay. I can get behind that. Let's see. Got tables and transitions and transformations and things like that. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I don't have text box there. Get my text box looking a little bit better. Then I'm going to start worrying about laying things out. I just want to get my individual controls looking a little better here. So let's see. I just want it to have a border. Let's start there. So on my text box, let's class equals, let's get in a border here. And let's maybe make that like a 700 gray. Uh-oh. Oh, you know what? I probably need to actually turn on the border. Nope. Let's just... All right. How can I give you a border? Border, border, border. There's all of my colors. There's my rounded. Okay. Sure that there's a way to make that thicker. But I'll be okay with that. I'll be all right with that. Yeah. That'll be all right. Okay. And I want to add in some padding in there. So let's say, yeah, maybe like P2, P1. There we go. I like it. And maybe the text. Yeah, I like how that looks. Okay. That's looking good. Okay. Let's make this a label instead. And let's do the container style here. I think this is the way that I can do this. Yeah. Let me see, are you on the next line? You are. Okay, just because of sizing. All right, that's fine. Yeah, yeah, that'll work. Okay. Just gonna say add to do. Yeah, there we go. All right. And let's maybe make this a little bit bigger. How do I do that? Where's my sizing? Font size. Ah, text dash. Okay. All right, I can get behind that. Text dash LG. XL? Huh. It's not overly big, but that's all right. And class equals text MD. I'm gonna bet that's probably the default. Yeah. SM. Okay. All right. Okay. We're looking better. Now I'd really like to get an outer border around it. Like I'd like to center it up a little bit better. I don't like it just all the way over there on the left here. So where's like some layout stuff? Layout, container, Container, a component for fixing an element's width to the current breakpoint. Okay, let's sort of start here. Okay, cool. So I've already got all of it contained in one big div. This should really be like an article tag. Let's make that an article tag instead. Close article. There we go. And then now make that, Okay, so I've got container, that's fine. Does not have any built-in horizontal padding. Okay, so let it MX auto. MX auto. Yeah, that doesn't do what I want it to do. To add horizontal padding. Oh, okay. PX. Okay, looks all right. It looks all right. It's not great. It looks all right though. Container also includes responsive variables like MD. Okay. Centering by default. Okay, that's fine. And then horizontal padding. Okay. And that's fine. Okay. update my placeholder there real quick. Text small. Whoops, that wasn't where I wanted to put that. How about on here? Text small. Okay. Think that looks better? All right. Okay. I'd like, so right now I'm using the line through just straight from CSS. I'm curious if there's a built-in Tailwind CSS for that. Style, italic, non-italic. Yeah, okay. Probably not, I'm gonna guess. Text transform, yeah, it's not there. Decoration, okay. It's just line through. Okay, that's fine. All right. Yeah, then let's class, and let's say line through instead. So let's say line through, and let's, in theory then, we shouldn't need that anymore. We shouldn't in fact need that style section, at least for the moment. And now this should still, yeah, okay. All right, so now we're just using the Tailwind for that. Okay, that looks good. All right. Let's see. So now I think what I'd like to do is I'd love to take, especially like for my button, I'd love to wrap that up into a class. And I know that you can do that. Let's see. I love that there's dark mode that's built right in. And all of those options. That's cool. That's really nice. Adding base styles. Base or global styles are the styles at the beginning of a style sheet. Oh, okay. Yeah, and that's not quite what I want. Extracting new components. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So don't rely on CSS. Create a template, partial, or JavaScript component. Huh. That's interesting. All right. So if I'm reading this correctly, so as a project grows, you'll inevitably find yourself repeating common utility combinations to create the same component in different places. This is most apparent with small components like buttons, which is exactly what we've got, form elements, badges, things like that. Badges? So keeping a long list of utility classes in sync across many component instances become a maintenance burden. So it's a good idea to extract a component. It's very rare that all the information needed to define a UI component can live entirely in CSS. There's almost always some important corresponding HTML structure you need to use as well. So in other words, don't put this into CSS. So for this reason, it's better to extract them out into template partials or JavaScript components instead of writing custom CSS classes. Okay. And then by creating a single source of truth. All right. Okay. For small components like buttons and form elements, creating a template partial can often feel too heavy. In these situations, use Tailwind's apply directive to extract out those patterns. Okay. I think I'm going to do this first. Let's... Okay, and then I can just say apply. Do this first. Whoosh. btn indigo. Apply. No colon. Not writing JSON. Why are you giving me red squigglies? Semicolon expected. Oh, That's a little disappointing. So it doesn't work in here. If I put this into my core, let's put it into here. Let's try putting it. Okay. And let's, okay. Interesting. All right, well, it works, but it's giving me red squigglies because it wants a semicolon between each of those. There's got to be a plugin or something, an extension that can fix that. Let's see. I want, what do I want? What do I want? What do I want? I want, post CSS language support. I think this is going to fix my problem. We're going to find out. Yeah, let's give it a shot. YOLO. All right. And now, yeah, okay, cool. All right, that fixed that problem. Okay, cool. All right. For some reason I couldn't put that directly inside of my Svelte file though, which is a little weird. I would have figured. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so Svelte doesn't support that directly. Curious. Svelte Tailwind. How to use Tailwind in a Svelte site. Oh, okay. If you're a Svelte developer, you'd like to use Tailwind, scaffold a new Svelte site, yada, 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 add Tailwind, we've done that. And then, yep, okay. But where is adding my... Ah, okay. Lang equals. Okay. Let's try that. Actually, no, we're just going to comment that. There we go. And let's, oops. Lang equals, there we go. Okay, most of that went away. But not all of it. Let's see. Let's say global here as well. It's still giving me red squigglies. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm really not sure. Let's see. Okay, yeah, they don't do... I'm sure it's gotta work inside of that script tag in a Svelte file. I just don't know how to make it happen. Okay, I'm not gonna rabbit hole too much on that. That's fine. Let's we'll just leave that inside of my I want to leave it here. Actually, no. I am going to do something different. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to, how much time have I got? I got about a half hour. Yeah, you know what I'm going to do instead? I'm going to see if I can't figure out, let's see if I can't figure out how to create a component in Svelte and then do it that way. So let's leave that. Yeah, let's leave that and let's create a component in Svelte. So where Svelte docs. There we go. Let's see. And I want props, declaring props. Okay. All right, so let's see here. So this, let's call this to-do.svelte. And let's script lang equals, I can't remember if it's TS or TypeScript. I have a great memory, it's just really short. TS, okay. And so now we'll say let to do Oh, and I've got an interface here. Let me pull this out. Let's types DTS. Let's put that into here. Export. Then how do I reference? I think I can just do it this way. I think I can just say import from .wac types import to do. Must use import type. There we go. Okay. So let's do the same thing over here. So boop, and then now I can go to do like that. And now, in theory, I should be able to do this. I should be able to, let's take my button and let's put that into here. Oh, I don't really care about a value. Okay, and now let's go ahead and let's say, how do I import that in then? What do I do? Import, oh, okay. So let's import to do, to do button. Let's call that to do button from .wac to do Svelte. And now let's say to do button and the to do is going to be boop the to do. Is not assignable, does not exist on intrinsic attributes. Oh, right. Export. There we go. How about, yeah, let's export. There we go. Now I'm willing to bet I'm probably even going to get, yeah, I'm even now going to get IntelliSense. Okay, cool. And now I can say to do. There we go. And now let's refresh my page here. Okay. Cool. All right. Yeah. I dig it. Okay. That's looking pretty good. It's a to-do app. Yeah. I think maybe like a little more padding on my buttons. Actually, hold on. I've got 20 minutes left. You know what I think I want to do? I'm going to try this. I have no idea if this is going to work. I'm going to give this a shot. I think what I want to do, I want to set this up to be maybe a little bit more like Kanban style. So I think what I want to do is I want to have two spots. I want to have one spot where it's going to, or one side where it's going to display, hey, these are all the active ones, and then another spot where these are all the completed ones. Can I do that? Probably. Let's find out. Okay. Okay, first thing I'm gonna need like a grid or something. And I know that this has got a grid. Layouts. Grid template columns. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Let's sort of start here. Let's section class grid. Okay. And then let's say section class equals grid. Oh. Wait, how do I do this? Core concepts. Are you? You are not. Okay, how do I then do this? Oh, okay. Grid flow row auto rows max. Okay. I don't quite know what that's going to do. You know, let's start here. All right, what do you display? 1, 2, 3, like that. Okay, that's not what I want. How about grid flow call? Okay. All right. And then, okay, that looks good. That looks good. Okay. So now let's do this. Let's say what do I want to do? I want to do this is I'm going to do H2 active and maybe H2 completed. Okay, well, looking good. And now let's take this bit of code here and let's put this into here. Save. Okay, we're looking good. And now what I want to do is filter TT where it's not completed. Completed. Cool. And that one is going to be completed. All right. Oh, interesting. Okay. That's not automatically updated, though. Because what I'm expecting to happen here is I'm expecting it to move it over. Svelte filter array automatically update. Updating arrays and objects. How to update an array after a splice. Push hello. I can use the filter. The original array is therefore mutated. Depends on the context. If I want to have this behavior exactly, I probably need the oh, interesting. Okay, let's see. Updating arrays and objects. Right. Okay. Okay. So the spread operator. It's triggered by assignments. Okay, is to encourage immutability. Right. Okay. So it looks like that's not going to work directly. Let's see. Dynamically generating the to-dos. Yep, okay. Let's see. So how do I... Yep. Toggling and removing to-dos. Yep. Remove. Filter where it doesn't, right, okay. reactive to-dos. This is what I want. This is what I want. Okay, we can tell Svelte that we want our total to-dos and completed to-do variables to reactivate by prefixing them with the $. Okay, so let's then all right, how about, let's see, can I do it this way? And the answer is no. Okay, so let's come up here and let's add the code in up top. So let's create a couple new variables for this. So let's say I'd love better docs on that. Okay. Reactivity. Okay. So let's see. So Svelte automatically updates the DOM when your components changes. Often, some parts of a component need to be computed from other parts. These are reactive declarations, and they look something like that. Okay. So let's do completed to-dos equals to-dos filter t dot completed, and then we'll say my active to-dos equals to-dos filter t not completed. Let's do that. And now let's say for each active, and let's do completed. All right. No, still nothing. Still no love in Mudville. Okay. No joy in Mudville. Shucks. Okay. All right. Updating arrays and objects is triggered by assignment. So using arrays like push and splice won't automatically cause updates. One way to fix this is to add an assignment that would otherwise be redundant. Do the spread operator. Okay. All right. I think I'm gonna have to do it that way. Let's see. Where's my to-do? Unclick. Okay. So let's update this. Let's say function toggle completed. No. I need export let toggle completed function. To do void. Nope. Oh wait, no. Oh, okay, that's fine. All right, and then toggle completed the to do. Okay. And so now let's come out here and let's add that function in. So function toggle to do. Oops. And then my to do button. To do equals to do, and then toggle. Oops. Did I not put export on this? I thought I did. Oh, hit save. There you go. Toggle completed equals curly toggle to do. Toggle completed. There we go. All right. And so now function toggle completed to do, and then now I want this. To-dos equals to-do. Want everything before it. So that is to-dos slice starting at 0, and then the end element, this is exclusive of the element. Okay, so that's going to be to-dos index of the to-do that was passed in, and then this is going to be a brand new item. This will be title, or actually I'll just do it this way. I'll to do, and then to do, whoops, completed, to do completed. We'll toggle that, and then to-dos slice, and then my start, it's the beginning. Okay, so that's going to be to-dos index of my to-do +1. And then I think if I just leave the end blank, it will just do the rest. Okay. I have no idea if any of this is going to work. Where are you giving me red squigglies? Cannot find module. Transformers TS. Uh-oh. Is this just going to be a matter of closing and reopening? I hope it is. It's not. All right, what am I not doing? Oh, wait. Now where are you giving me red squigglies? Oh, well, that's weird. Why did you... Oh, right, of course. Boop. Boop. Okay. All right. Aha! Look at that. It works. All right, now I'm really curious. Do I still need those mamma jammas? Let's see. Let's try it like this. Let's go to-dos, filter, t dot, oops, where it's not completed. Completed. All right, and now refresh. I don't. Awesome, awesome. Okay. And so now we'll go to-dos, filter, and we'll say boop, boop, t dot completed. There we go. I can now get rid of those, save, refresh, boop, boop. Look at that go. Awesome. Cool. Create grid and move that right on over there. Update code. Gonna move that right on over there. Nice. Look at that. It actually works. Nobody's more surprised by this than I am. That's awesome. Fantastic. All right. And it's 11:01, pretty much right on time. Okay. So yeah, so that's Tailwind and a bit of CSS. And that's how we can, you know, kind of move things around and so forth. I'm going to go ahead and git status, git add dot, git commit added Tailwind and other functionality. And then let's just do a git push. And that'll then, whoops. Oh, need to do a real quick git pull, exit, and then git push. And that way that will all be up on GitHub, HTTPS, github.com, Geek Trainer, Svelte, to-dos. Yeah, so you can go check that out. All right. Well, with that, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Hopefully you picked up a couple of things about Svelte and about Tailwind as we went through this. Maybe a little bit about TypeScript, and yeah, go enjoy the rest of your Friday. It looks like the sun's peeking out here in Seattle. It's going to be the last time we're going to see it for about a week. So if you're in Seattle, definitely get out and enjoy that. But otherwise, yeah, thanks for tuning in, and enjoy the rest of your Friday, or I guess Saturday, depending on where in the world you happen to be. Bye.